and welcome back. It's Maisie here from Devils United, and with me today I have Talk MU. I've got Ankit, who is a Chelsea fan, and I also have Reese back again. How are we all, everyone?
Good.
Fantastic. Nice to be here.
All right, cheers.
It's been a pleasure to have you on today, Ankit, honestly. Today we are going to be discussing a preview for the Champions League. I know, Ankit, you are still very happy over the Champions League with Chelsea winning. Do you feel like Chelsea might win it again for a second time in a row?
Well, you know what? I don't want to jump the gun, but we certainly look among the challengers. I won't deny that. But yes, a lot of teams have strengthened. We got to talk in detail for sure. But I can't say Champions League is definitely not easy to call, right? As in it's for every year. But with Tuchel in charge, and hopefully he's not sacked, based on our Premier League results, I believe we have a great chance. I genuinely feel that.
Mm-hmm. And Talk, do you think it's going to actually come to Manchester? Do you think Man United is going to get that Champions League trophy?
Well, I think, you know what, to be fair, I think the odds would say that we've probably got a better chance of winning the Champions League rather than the Premier League. So I think, you know what, the Champions League, as Ankit and all of us understand, is a run of cup games. You get some good decisions and a bit of luck, and you play well, then you've got a really good chance of progressing to the end and actually getting a trophy. So with the signs that we've made and the other changes that have been going on around the club, then yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. We're in there with a fair shout.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Reese? Do you feel like it might actually come back to Manchester United?
There's more luck of going to Man United than Man City. But I don't know. I think I've just got to go with it depends on the knockout stages as well. It depends on the draw, because it can be good for you. Sometimes go against you. And remember, there's no away goals rule this year as well. There's no away goals rule, and that for some teams that's important. So I think if you look at the away goals rule, I think the defensive teams are more in favour. So Chelsea should realistically get to the semi-finals. I think Chelsea will be in the semi-finals. They've got no excuse. I don't care if you're a Chelsea fan or whatever. If you honestly don't think you're not getting close to the semi-finals, there's something wrong with you. Because the style of play you've got, the players you've got in terms of the manager's system, that's a semi-final team at best. Man United, it's all about luck of the draw and whether we actually turn up. Because there's games where we just don't do it, and then we end up just losing by the sake of our own performance. So it depends really. The only team I'm going to 100% rule out two teams I'm going to 100% rule out the Champions League is. Do I say two? Nah, fuck it, three. Man City won't win it. Barcelona won't win it, and PSG won't win it.
Oh, interesting.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% certain PSG will not win the Champions League.
What about Barcelona?
They've got zero chance.
Real Madrid?
I think
they'll get quarterfinals.
I think the Barcelona shout is a decent shout, I think, because they're in real trouble, aren't they? You know, they're all over the shop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they're finished.
But I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, so I might just save mine for later.
Yeah. I've gone to my first question here, and I put, will the Champions League come back to England? Talk, what do you think? Do you think England overall has got the strongest chance of the Champions League coming back?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you look at the like I just mentioned with us, Man United, the strength and depth we've got there now. Manchester City, we can't rule them out, to be fair. I mean, you know what? They got to the final last season, and for whatever reason, Pep made some bizarre choices. And Chelsea, well, yeah. I mean, if Tuchel keeps everybody happy and fit, then you've got to you've got to be sort of adding them into the equation, really. So I think I would definitely put money on it coming back to England this season, definitely.
And what about you, Ankit? Do you think the Champions League is coming back to England?
Yeah, as in, I don't want to be too biased, but the fact is, the pedigree also counts, right? As in, obviously, Ronaldo coming to Man United is an example. These are players and managers, Klopp, Pep, Tuchel, who have kind of been there, done that for seasons, not just once, and they've won European competitions, and that is where Reese was coming from, because Barcelona, as much as they have the culture and the history, they have lost that pedigree. And PSG, yes, I agree, biggest bottlers, Pochettino especially, he's actually having that Spurs DNA in him still. He did that. Like he lost the Liga in the first season. Like how is that even possible with that PSG team? Like that is what they're meant for. But yeah, again, I don't want to be sounding too kind of bragging and overconfident. I can see PSG kind of going to the latter stages. But yeah, when it comes to knockout football, the English teams and just the management, right? They are much more experienced to kind of get over the line. So I certainly believe that if I have to kind of bet, if I was a betting man, I would say that 99% yes, it'll remain in England for sure.
And same question to you as well, Reese.
I am not sure. I think many people are forgetting Bayern Munich. They've had a poor start to this. They've had a poor start to the season, but once it gets to the business end, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, they turn up. Like those two turn up as well. Obviously, Real Madrid have started well, but they've got a few big players that aren't particularly what they should be. But I think Bayern Munich in themselves, they've only had a poor start because they're still adjusting to Nagelmann's tactics. But I think once they get going, they're going to be a problem. You're going to have to stop them by either scoring a lot of goals against them, if you're lucky, or being completely tactical superb against them. And that's not easy against Bayern Munich because they're not an easy team to be superior against tactically. So it's going to come down to that. I'm not sure what we're going to do about Juventus as well. Like Juventus with Max Allegri, he's always done well with Juventus. Like, fair enough, it's not the team he used to have, but he's had 2 Champions League finals with this club. What's stopping him realistically from getting a third and actually winning it this time? It's going to be difficult. I think in terms of will the Champions League come back to England, it can, but I'm not going to put a definite answer on it until I see who gets to the knockout stages first. I want to see what teams are in the knockout stages and how well they've done the group stage, because position is going to be an important factor. So for the minute, I'm going to say probably 50-50.
Everyone who is already in the comments, please also say your opinions to all the questions. I would love to know everybody's opinions. For me, I am thinking when you look at everybody who's in the Champions League, I feel like the English teams are the more strongest teams. Like you've got Man United, who's strengthened. You've got Chelsea, who is an amazing squad. You've got Manchester City. You've got Liverpool. They're all amazing squads. And then you do also think Atletico Madrid could be a good favourite. Bayern Munich, just like Reese has said. But with the Champions League, it's more of a kind of luck. You've got to be lucky in that competition to get far. You need to get the right people to be against. Like, for instance, Man City, they usually do have quite weaker teams throughout until it gets like to the semi-finals, and then that's where they did tend to usually bottle. Because like one year with Tottenham Hotspur, they literally lost just on away goals, and it makes you wonder if they didn't have the away goals, they could have actually got through to the final that year as well. And Tottenham Hotspur won it so far.
They've been knocked out a few times on the away goals. Fantastic. The Monaco team that should have won, in my opinion, should have won that Champions League that season, not Real Madrid. I think Monaco deserved to win it that year. By far the best team in the tournament. They just got defensive suicide against Juventus. Like that's just what they did. They went ultra attack and they deservedly lost. Man City, that's their problem. They just go all out attack, but they don't have a plan B. They do not have a plan B, and in European football, you need a plan B if you want to succeed, and that's the difference between a champion and a runner-up.
I think they're starting though around for Man City though with Pep. I think he's gonna learn himself how to stick with that initial. What's just won him the league, or if it is, and we win it, or get high up in the league, and that I've been playing well and getting result after result after result. I think he'll go right. This is the time now, because I believe that if he doesn't win it this season and gets now knocked out in earlier rounds, I don't see him staying. Because
you'll go.
What's he going to say? Look, all right, I'm going to wait now, and you're going to have to bring me Haaland, and you're going to have to bring me whoever else, into the squad. I don't see him risking it all on bringing just like spending a ridiculous amount of money on Haaland to go out then and try one last time to go and fail again. I think this is his last shot at it, in my opinion.
I know he's
But
done all these domestic trebles and he done all that at Bayern Munich, but I don't care. Like the guy's been a failure since Barcelona. Like he's a failure. Like in terms of European football, I don't care what records he sets. Like how many goals his team scores in tournament football. He's still a failure. He's still a failure.
See, that's where like I believe that it really comes down to the squad because yes, I agree with Reese that he's been a failure, and of course, like he's won in the past as well. Like for me, Man City doesn't have a plan B. Like again, I think Reese pointed up about Bayern Munich and even Liverpool. I would like to shout out. I know Reese would not like me to say that, but the
I
fact
hate
is,
it, but I
Liverpool,
have to agree.
yeah, but Liverpool
Yeah.
and Bayern Munich are two sides who kind of on paper have a great starting 11. I know that there has been transition in Bayern Munich and that will probably take time, but the fact that the knockouts just don't start until February, right? And that's when they kind of get to grips, and by then who knows that they might as well sign someone in January. So even Liverpool, like the backups that are really needed are kind of not there in those kind of teams compared to the teams that we said are the primary favorites. I still disagree with the Juventus part because for me, in Champions League, you need individual quality, and unfortunately, compared to the other squads, they don't have as much individual quality. Like that's simply put.
I think Pedigree is going to play a big part in this season's Champions League as well. The pedigree in terms of, like we were talking before, Reece mentioned about being tactically sound. Now, when you come up against someone like Bayern Munich, obviously you don't want to try and outscore them because that can be dangerous. So for me, the two teams from England there who are going to be able to deal with that the best is Man United and Chelsea. If they decide to say, okay, come on then, you break us down and wallop, you're going to get slapped on the break. That's that they're the best two teams at that, especially with Man United. We've done it to Man City now 4 times, is it? We've done it to City. We've done that to City. So yeah, I think. But if I had to put money on it, be a betting man, considering all the other European teams, I would edge the English teams. I think for it to come back definitely.
I do feel like as well, Pep Guardiola, he is his own worst enemy. He overthinks in games, and especially when you look at that Champions League final against Chelsea, he overthought and he didn't put Fernandinho on. That could have been the difference between them winning the Champions League and them being second place.
He would have won it. They would have won it if he had started the defence midfielder. I don't know why he made the decision in the second half to make the substitution that he would have made anyway if he had started the defence midfielder. He would have brought on. It was Bernardo Silva he took off. He could have taken Bernardo Silva up as a sub in originally, bring him on. Fucking stupid camera. He could have had Fernandinho. He could have had Fernandinho start the game, and then brought Bernardo Silva in the second half. It's not a big deal. There's actually one other team we've completely forgot about, and who knows? We've always been saying it might be their year. It might not be.
Leipzig.
No, not them. Like they've got a decent chance, but they've got a tough group. Atletico Madrid.
Oh right. Yeah. Well,
this could well be their. This could well be their year.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're in a good spot, aren't they? At the moment, they're in the best spot in the La Liga.
Absolutely.
But I think I don't know though, because you look at let's just cast our minds back to the Chelsea game, Atletico Madrid Chelsea, and I said, right, this is the end of the road for Chelsea, right? Because I really believed it was, because I just thought, no, Chelsea are not going to be able to break this team down, and with them being so they're like robots, for Atletico Madrid. But I was totally wrong, and Chelsea played that game fantastically well. So yeah, I don't know.
It annoys me that Chelsea get into that final. That really pissed me off. I called it back in the group stages. These clowns are going to get to the final. It really pissed me off.
We love it. We love being hated, But the fact, I kind of disagree with that talk because, I know we played fantastically well. Credit where it's due, but I think for me, Atletico Madrid underwhelmed more than Chelsea playing well. I know I'm saying that as a Chelsea fan, but we kind of expected more from Atletico Madrid. We really were ready for that, and as fans, we could see Atletico Madrid doing that well. But for me, they're really underwhelmed. I know that Griezmann is like a big, addition to them because he's played for them. He's played under Simeone. He's someone who kind of, can score you the goals that they were missing. But still, like for me, they don't have it enough in them to kind of, win those knockout ties, especially with Suarez, adding another year. So let's see. The jury is out for me. But yeah, then they have a better chance than last year, put it that way.
They've strengthened their squad though, which is important. They made 2 good midfield signings and they've brought in Grease Robber, like they've brought him back. So, like frankly, what they've done is I think we should all give Atletico Madrid like the biggest thanks in world football, because Atletico Madrid are the reason Barcelona are in tatters. They sold Griezmann for 140 million and they got him back for 40. Like Atletico Madrid are the best robbers in football. Like fucking big up to you.
Crazy numbers.
Yeah, but they've got such good attacking options. They just need 1 or 2 goals, and they've got the best goalkeeper in world football anyway. Like Oblak is the best goalkeeper in world football, and I'll debate that till the end of time, because right now nobody is better than Oblak. And I just look at that and I go, they just need 1 or 2 early goals, or sometimes just 1, and it's already over because they've got such good defensive-minded players that they can just keep their shape, and it's hard to get past them. It takes a bit of luck to get past them.
Don't forget Chelsea have now got one of their players, Niguez.
That's true. That's another one. They still have Llorente and Coca and all that, so it's still an interesting midfield. We'll see how it goes. Rodrigo De Paul's one to watch out for. The signing from Udinese, he's an interesting one. But we'll see. Either way, I'm just looking forward to seeing who wins it, because I'm just hoping that it's not Liverpool or Man City. I don't care if it's Chelsea. Well, I've been used to Chelsea for years, but they're not as much of a rival as Man City and Liverpool. No offense. Like Arsenal's your rival, and they don't have European football, so at least you've already got that sorted out.
It just shows though the North is more dominant though, because it's like the majority of the Northern teams are in the Champions League, and then there's just Chelsea. It just shows that the North at the moment is more dominant for English football.
Well, it always has been. It always has been.
Sorry. Like talk, read, and of course, Maisie, because of the fact that I'm talking to Man United fans here. Like for me, it is kind of feeling deja vu of like the Mourinho years when we had Mourinho versus Ferguson, Mourinho versus Benitez. I really feel that this could be the start of another big rivalry, especially in Europe. Remember, obviously we lost that final to you over that penalty. That I don't want to remember. I don't know why I said that, but the fact that that happened, and the Liverpool games, of course, no one can forget that. Like those are basically those prime European competition kind of years for us, where we really came up to the big stage. Like for me, this is the start of that. Like I can generally see it because of the fact that the signings Man United made. Liverpool again, like they didn't make a lot of signings, but I think with Klopp being there, I'm sure and the players coming back from injury, this will be the year when they kind of just gel together and get back their form. Like so, this is very interesting year in European football for me.
Completely agree. I'm going to go through some of the comments and I'll go to the next question. Jordan has said, big up Maisie, smash the like button. Thank you very much for that. And I'm all well, thank you. And I hope you are too. I've got Doug here from Dugout Football Channel. Evening Maisie, Talk, Reese and Anki. Hello there, Doug. And anyone who hasn't already, go and subscribe to Doug. He is a Liverpool content channel. It's really good, really enjoyable to watch. You've got Everton Bruno. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too, Everton Bruno. Thank you for tuning in. Doug has said PSG are the biggest bottlers in Champions League history. Completely, I completely agree.
Followed by Juventus.
Adil, keep up the good work. Thank you very much, and thank you as well for tuning in. Rich, big up YouTube legends. Thank you for tuning in, Rich. And anyone who hasn't already, go and subscribe to Rich Sport. I am all sometimes on there, so you can see me on there if, for example, you want to see me at all. Doug has said, out the Spanish teams, Real Madrid has a better chance of all the Spanish teams. Can see Barcelona getting out the group stages and Seville and Villarreal going into the Europa League. James has said, big up Maisie, big up to you too, James. I hope you're well. Evening all. And Doug has said, Atletico Madrid, knew I forgot someone. Big up to Solo. Anyone who hasn't subscribed, or do subscribe to the United Agenda. It is a quality YouTube channel. I love watching United Agenda. It's literally my favourite Manchester United YouTube channel. It's just quality. I've got a couple more comments here. Doug has said Pep Fraudiola. Yep, he is a fraud. Little Bucko, how is everyone? We are all well, thank you. Hope you're well too. Thank you for tuning in, and everyone go and subscribe to Little Bucko, brand new YouTube channel. And looking forward to seeing more content.
What team does he support, Maisie?
Shut up.
United.
I've got Hussam here. Thank you for tuning in, and everyone who hasn't already, go and subscribe to Hussam. This is football. Liverpool content, really good. I really enjoy watching it as well. And yeah, so thank you for liking my blonde hair. Got it done a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I'm glad that you prefer it over the brunette.
I'll notice. That'll earn you some points, my friend. That'll earn you points when you notice the lady's hair.
Like the video, or your son will grow up to support Arsenal. I feel like that is something what everyone will have to do. Static has said hello to everybody. Hello as well to you, Static.
Yeah,
I
Static.
do hope you're well.
Big up, bro.
And Gary, hi Gary, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're well. I'm going to get my next comment on now. Everybody in the comments, please also say your opinions. I'd love to know what everyone's opinions is. The second question I had, it was, do you feel like there is going to be any underdogs this year in the Champions League? I'm going to go to you first, Ankit. What do you think?
Absolutely, like this will be the year, because don't forget, like the group stages, like the draws are crazy, right? The group C and group G are like literally there's no big teams, so to speak. So there's got to be like at least 2 to 3 teams who are there in the latter stages of the competition. So as in, don't be surprised. I know we kind of belted Sevilla big time, but we've lost Giroud, who's not there. And Sevilla, other than facing up Giroud, they look really good. In spite of us, we kind of beating them well. So, and they've done well in European competitions in the past. I know Europa League, but for me, Sevilla is definitely one team. And again, I'm going to put a name here. I don't like putting it because I didn't like the fact that we didn't get Haaland, right? And I know that there's a possibility he might go to Man United, but I see Dortmund kind of doing well because they have it in them to do it well, even though they kind of lose players every year, right? Bellingham is a superstar. Like I'm hoping Chelsea kind of get him, post Kante era, because he's someone who kind of does everything. So for me, I would say Dortmund and Sevilla are definitely 2 teams which will be there. But again, it comes down to basically draws, etc. in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. But yeah, I won't be surprised if one of these teams even play in the quarters or semis.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Todd? Do you think there's going to be any underdogs?
I think there might be, just to get to not to the final. I don't see any underdogs getting onto the final or having any chance of winning it. To be honest with you, I just think that they may be a team that will may cause an upset, make it difficult for one of the other so-called big teams, because there are some decent teams in this competition. Mm-hmm. Not Leipzig.
Yeah, they're one.
Leipzig, AC Milan could cause a problem. Mm-hmm. Inter could cause a problem. Mm-hmm. Shakhtar, I don't know. Benfica, Dynamo Kiev, Villarreal. Mm-hmm. Wolfsburg. I mean, Wolfsburg were a decent team. Like, what about how many years ago? About 5, 6, 7 years ago.
5 years.
Yeah, they were a decent team.
What springs to my mind is Atlanta. I feel like maybe they may do good.
Atlanta are finishing second in our group. They're going to finish above Villarreal. I'm confident in that.
Yeah, that's great. How could I forget Villarreal? I have to kind of throw in that because I think 3 Man United fans along with me, I have to say, like, Villarreal for me, defensively, like we said, defensive teams will kind of have a better chance. So if they kind of get to that knockout stage, I won't be surprised because they played fantastically in the Super Cup for me.
Reece, do you think there's any underdogs in this Champions League at all?
Yeah, I still think, despite the fact they've not been in the competition for 7 years, I'm going to put Milan as an underdog because it's not the Milan of old. But this is still a rich pedigree for history. So I would have to say AC Milan. I'm going to say Atlanta, based on the fact they're just an attack-minded team, and they've got no fear to come at you. But they've lost a few players, but they're quite good defensive shape. Dortmund maybe as an underdog. I don't know. I think I would say more of Leipzig as an underdog than Dortmund, to be honest, because Dortmund have got more of a European pedigree, and they've been in it more consistently than Leipzig have. But Leipzig do cause upsets. They've got an interesting group, so if they get out of that group, then that's one to put through. Wolfsburg, I agree. Shakhtar, I do not, because it's Shakhtar. Try to think, is there anybody else? To be honest, maybe one of the Portuguese clubs again, like maybe Sporting Lisbon or Porto, Benfica. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't put it past Sporting Lisbon. Like they've got a decent chance as well. There's so many teams that you could list an underdog, but it depends really on how they get going in the season. If they start really well and they maintain performance, then there's no stopping them. But the only team I don't want to see do well outside the English teams is freaking PSG, because they're a disgrace to football.
I know you hate PSG so much.
I hate them with a passion. I hate them with a passion.
I already know.
Complacency may aid one of the underdogs as well by, one of the bigger teams thinking, let's make a few changes, and we've seen it many times happen. And then you find yourself in a real pickle. So
like Messi missing a penalty and then Dortmund just knock them out in the knockout stages. That'd be beautiful.
You don't like PSG, Reece, do you?
I hate PSG. I hate
Bonjour.
So would you rather go through, Reece? Would you rather PSG or would you rather Barcelona?
Barcelona are still a scum club, but I'd rather Barcelona because they're not oiled up merchants. They're just fucked royally, which is beautiful to watch.
Fair enough. For me, I know people have been saying Dortmund, but I have a feeling Dortmund isn't going to do 100% well, because especially them losing Sancho, I feel like that's going to be a big blow for them, especially in the Champions League. I do think Atlanta will do well. I feel that's one of them. I think Atletico Madrid is going to be an underdog team, because I don't think people really are rating Atletico Madrid at this moment in time for them to go far in the Champions League.
Yes, a fair comment. I think it's just because of the style of football. It's purely because of the style of football and who's in charge. They do not like Simeone, but I don't see what's not to like about him unless you're an England fan. But Simeone, is what he was built on, like rough Argentinian style of play. Like you'll have a little bit of good moments in the game where they'll play electric football, but for him it's all about solid defence and ensuring the winning. Sometimes you've got to fight ugly and you've got to play ugly to win trophies. And not to mention they were so far ahead of the rest of the big three, like obviously like Real Madrid and Barcelona. They were so far ahead of them until the end of the season. Like they just won the league. They were lucky to win it in the end, but I think Atletico Madrid deserve a little bit more respect than many actually give them.
Yeah, I would actually throw in quickly, Meji, if you want. This is about Dortmund, right? So Dortmund, you mentioned about Sancho going. I agree that'll be a huge miss. But for me, again, I have followed Daniel Malen quite closely, being a Dutch fan. In the last couple of years, this guy has really improved his movement. So if we can kind of replicate what Sancho did, again, it's easier said than done. But for me, Dortmund can probably get him to work in the way Dortmund work, right? And him along with, I think, Giovanni Reina has added a year, some experience. So for me, those two will kind of cover it up, and that's why I say Dortmund.
Yeah.
How far do you think Dortmund might go through to then, Ankit? Do you think they get into the quarters, the semis? Yeah. What do you think?
I actually have predicted them to be in the quarterfinals, and of course it depends on the draw. But yeah, quarterfinals for sure. I see them going because of, again, the group that they are in.
Yeah, I know there's some teams as well. They got quite hard opponents, haven't they, on theirs?
It's all about the midfields as well. That's something right. When you look at the midfields of these teams, when you have to really play really, really, really well and retain the ball and create openings and chances. This is again why I have to put my money on either because that's how it right. Man United's midfield is strong. All right, I know we're missing a DM. However, the creative side of our midfield is strong. We've got a workhorse in there, 2 workhorses in there, in Scotty and Fred. We've got Donny van der Beek. Chelsea's got a decent midfield. Manchester City have got a very, very good midfield. Liverpool's midfield, yeah, I don't know. What are our thoughts on Liverpool's midfield? Is that enough? Have they got enough in that midfield to when it really gets to the serious end of things that they can actually carve something out? I don't think so.
They'll miss Wijnaldum for sure this time.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so either, to be fair. And plus their squad, Liverpool have only signed Konate, and that is, for me, quite surprising and shocking, to be fair. I think, you know, I was expecting to hear some big news from Liverpool in terms of signings at the end of summertime, but they seemed quite happy to just stick with Konate. I know they've got this young, what's his name, the young kid now?
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott. I mean, you know, they've got this is a bit of a wonder kid. He seems like a great player, but I think in the Champions League and when you're trying to go for the Premier League as well, it's a tough ask with the squad they've got, I believe.
You can't solely rely on, though, just Harvey Elliott, because with Liverpool, they haven't got no depth whatsoever. So if you've got a couple of defenders injured, you've got someone in midfield injured, they're done for. Because no team like Man United will eat them alive. You've got Chelsea who'd eat them alive. You've got strong teams there in the Champions League, Bayern Munich, who'd also eat them alive if, for example, they have them numerous of injuries like they did last season. And that will destroy them in the Champions League. It'll destroy them in the Premier League. And I feel like they should have really done a lot more in this transfer window, knowing the amount of injuries they had last season. And they've had obviously less midfielders now. Ronaldo has gone to PSG, so you'd expect a lot more of Liverpool in this transfer window.
It's an interesting point, actually, because I'd like to ask a Liverpool fan, who do they blame here? Do they blame Klopp for not pushing for signings? Or has Klopp pushed for signings and been told by the board no? Because either way, it's worrying signs for me, worrying.
I've got here King Tony. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Hi, mate. Yeah, I'm fine. I bet you're a bit surprised to see me on here as I'm on holiday at the moment, but not a lot happening, to be honest. pretty boring.
It's always a pleasure to have you, though. Always a pleasure, holiday or not. Yeah. It's always
Are you in a wind tunnel or something? You always look like you're in a wind tunnel there, your hair blowing about.
My hair's always blowing about. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy hair. Do you think there's going to be any underdog teams, Tony?
Well, I've already heard everyone mention them, like Atlanta and Leipzig and things like that. I pretty much agree with that, really. I don't think there's much else. It's all going to be pretty much the same teams again. I think PSG, City, United, Dortmund maybe, Bayern, all the usual ones, really. I would say Villarreal could do well again. So, as long as you don't get them in the final again, you'll be all right, won't you?
Well, I hope not. I hope we don't get them in the final. The thing is, with Spanish teams, they've got a really good record, haven't they, in the away? So you know that they're near enough guaranteed to probably win if a Spanish team does get through to the final.
Yeah.
I'll go through some comments and I'll go to the next question. Static, cool. I'm good, thank you, Maisie. Your channel is growing. Well done. Thank you so much for all the support. It does mean a lot. Little Bucko has said Atlanta lost Romero, but they could still be outsiders. I've got your comment here, Tony, and obviously you're on now, aren't you? Yeah, I've got Static. He thinks Atlanta and Dortmund's going to be underdogs. He also thinks Leipzig and Dortmund, Atlanta as well. Little Bucko, I said, I don't think Leipzig will do well because of their group. City and PSG will go through in that group. Yeah, I agree with that one. They'll probably get into the Europa League, in my opinion. They should have gone into the Europa League last season as well, but I won't say no more. James, Atlanta, I'll go as the underdogs. I find it so funny if PSG won nothing this season. So would Reece, to be honest. He'd find it hilarious. Yeah, you have said, Tony, here, PSG must do well in the team. Yeah. And you also said
Yeah.
City will come close again, but not getting Kane means they'll fall short again. Yeah, I agree with that one because they're missing out on that striker, and that's just going to bite them eventually. If it's going to be in the middle of the end of the season, it's going to bite them eventually, I'd say. Richard said there could be an all-English final. That could be really good. I'd love to know, Rich, who would you think is going to be in the all-English final? Do you think it might be a derby day? Do you think it might be United and Chelsea? Do you think it might be a City and Chelsea again, or a Union? I'd love to know what you think. James has said, my mate who supports Liverpool are raging at their board for lack of signings. So, yep. I'll go to the next comment now, and everyone who is still in the comments, please also say your opinion too. It was, will Liverpool and Man City concentrate on the Champions League more than the Premier League? What do you think, Reese?
I think Manchester City will concentrate on the Champions League. I don't think Liverpool will. I think Liverpool will want to bounce back after that, in their own standards, horrendous season last year in the league. I think they'll concentrate on that, and then if it ends up getting to the point where they'll have to concentrate on one, I think they may concentrate on the Champions League. But I think the one they'll go all in for is the Premier League, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Like, Liverpool are a cup team anyway, so you wouldn't really be surprised at how far they go in the Champions League anyway, because that's what they are. They're a cup side. Their league form is going to be important this year. Their team is depleted, but Klopp still gets the best out of this team. That's the only thing, is Klopp still gets the best out of them. So it's just a matter of what Klopp can do. But that team's coming to the end of its cycle, and it's going to be Man United and Chelsea dominating the Premier League again very soon. Like Man City's cycle's coming to an end as well. They won't accept it. Like, they won't accept the fact that it's the truth. But if I had to put down who's going to concentrate on it more, it will be Man City concentrating more in the Champions League, because Pep Guardiola will want to get the Champions League win, which he's not going to get in the first place. He's not going to win it with Manchester City. Like, he won't win it. Like, I'm genuinely confident he will not win it, because he always makes the same mistakes, and that's why he's an absolute failure. And I'll say it again, he's a failure.
I just absolutely love it. It's like music in my ears.
He's a failure.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that, actually. I mean, I think City have probably got the bigger squad and more to choose from, and they probably could do both Premiership and the Champions League. But Liverpool, they must be pretty disappointed they didn't buy many players to add to that squad. So I think it's going to be pretty tough for Liverpool, myself. They've got to decide on one, and I would say for them the Premiership again, but I think City have got that strength in depth, but I still think they will fall short, as I said before. Not getting Kane was a big mistake. So, but going on to that, I think it could be United City final maybe, or United. Who's the other one I was thinking of? Maybe Bayern, something like that. Mm-hmm. That's a possibility for the final.
Wouldn't mind a 99 reunion and we beat them again 2-1 in the 90th minute. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Who's going to be our Ollie though? Who's going to be our Ollie? Is it going to be Rashford? Is it going to be Greenwood?
We don't need an Ollie. We just need a team that wins.
Exactly. What do you think?
Yes, as in great thought there, guys. I must say, firstly, I have a theory here, right? In terms of Liverpool, I really don't think that they will have any kind of aim for the season to begin with. I know most clubs, would definitely have that, but Liverpool have had one of those seasons which is really a left field kind of a thought, even having I think they had about 22 pairs of centre backs who kind of played last season. So for them, it's all about game by game, week by week. They kind of Klopp would want to get the positivity going, and then I agree with Reece that they probably will focus more on the cups, because of the fact that I think they'll fall out, say in the EPL race, so as to speak, and then probably, they are definitely a cup side with Klopp, the tactics that he has, and of course Liverpool, like I said earlier, they have a great starting 11. If they are fit, they will probably concentrate more, probably midway through the season. But Man City, sorry, like they don't have an excuse. Whatever people say, they have the best squad. They have, bought players left, right, center for years together. Pep Guardiola, like he was actually, brought to City because of winning the Champions League, not because of Premier League. Premier League, they were already winning, right? And this is what he himself wants. He's not proven it again in rebuild kind of a side, right? So that's something that he would want to do. And I know that people say we didn't buy a striker like in the mold of a Kane, but for me, they have Gabriel Jesus. They don't play him in position. Like they undermine his qualities and they don't play him. They play him on the wing. Like that's their problem. That's Pep's problem. At the end of the day, they have a squad which is second to none. Like I would say, like even better than Chelsea. Like at par at in the worst case, right? So for them to focus only on one competition is definitely not on. They will, like I think they always do. They will focus on all the competitions, but of course they'll be judged on how they do in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm. And talk, what do you think? Do you think Liverpool and City will concentrate on the Champions League more? What do you think?
Yeah, first to Liverpool. I mean, listen, Liverpool, they got nothing to prove in the Champions League. Nothing to prove. They've got nothing to prove. It's all about it. It's about the finances more than anything for Liverpool. They've got, they're just going to keep, every time they win it, they're going to stack up more trophies. So we know all about Liverpool when it comes to the Champions League. I think for Liverpool, their priority this season is going to be good form and top four. That's basically where I see them, and getting a decent run in a cup. I don't think they really got their eyes on any of the cups like the FA Cup or but no, I don't think that falls into Jurgen Klopp's plan, because it's, like I said, his squad's too thin to be casting his net too wide. So what's the priority? The priority is gaining top four for next season for Champions League and doing well in this league. Manchester City, on the other hand, are quite, like Reece and Ankit and Tony have said already, quite the opposite. Pep's got enough of a squad to actually, if he tears away in the league and gets a points gap, he can manage that. He can manage them both like he did last season, and actually go on and win the Premier League whilst doing well in the Champions League. But again, failing so many times away from Barcelona and Lionel Messi is a big concern for him. It must be a huge. Do you know what? It could be getting to the point now where it's becoming like the elephant in the room for Pep. And he actually might become afraid of the Champions League if he continues. If he fails again, he may have to start questioning himself. Am I cut out for this? Because it can do that to your football. It's a really tough game, and if you keep failing and keep failing and keep failing, even though you've been getting the best players apparently. And blah blah blah, and you got the best coaching, and it can be a big problem. It really can, and so that's my view on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just have a quick point here on Talk's point, like brilliant point, Talk, like I must say, because this is literally like Jose Mourinho in the prime in the years. Like he won again with Porto, he came to Chelsea, like reached a lot of semi-finals, quarterfinals, and that time I have to agree that we kind of bought a lot of players, right? And that's a fact. Similarly, like Pep is in that era, like he kind of, has to win it. Otherwise, something's got to give. So I totally agree with Talk there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only way Man United actually win this Champions League is, and it is an actual if, because we don't know what he's actually going to be like in our system, it's about Ronaldo. Because it's all about big game moments, and when they fall to him, he's going to have to take them. Because there's nobody else in our team that can actually take a big game moment and actually make it count. So that's the difference between United winning it and United failing. But I'm looking at some of the. I don't doubt Ronaldo anyway. I don't doubt him. It's just like that's just an if. Like you've just got to consider it. I'm looking at some of the comments, and Jason, like we've had easy groups before, right? And I'm just going to say this: United have had easy groups before, and we have fucked them up. We've fucked them up worse than fucking anybody I've seen. So just because we've got an easy group doesn't mean we're going to piss it. Like we have to actually work for it. Young boys will smash them, although to be fair, that probably the wrong choice of words. But unless you support a different club, which I'm not going to get into. But the likes of Villarreal and Atalanta, like we're going to have to work against those teams because they are teams that like piss easy that we like. This ain't 2008 where we could walk into any tournament and just absolutely tear teams apart. Like we have to work for it. It's not going to be easy. We should win this group. We should win it. But to say it's a bit piss easy is a bit naive in the sense of it. It's a bit naive.
I'm sure everyone thought the same though last season the group stages, because Man United thought, well, especially when we was top of the group stages, and then we kind of flopped because we was losing. So anything can really happen. It's about luck. It's about if we put the right squad in place. And there was obviously some mistakes in the Champions League where we should have done better. There was games where like Fred got sent off, where we could have subbed him off before he got sent off. There was little things like that what ruined our chances in the Champions League, and then obviously we went to Europa League, got to the final, and the rest is history.
Made a mess of that as well. So yeah, like you could have the easiest group. You could have the easiest group, which, frankly, Man City have had for years, but it means nothing. Like you get is that like even like having the most difficult group? The most important thing is how you take each single game. Don't think so far in advance, oh, Man United are going to get to the final, or Man United are going to get to the semi-finals. Actually make your prediction once the group stages are over, because you just do not know what's going to happen. I think Man United will still end up in the final. I think the big game effect of Ronaldo is important, but that could just be me using like my heart over my brain, because that's like generally what people say. Like Anke will be the same, like heart over his brain. He'll put Chelsea in that final.
No, but I agree with you, Reece, because Ronaldo coming like is a big leap for you, especially in European competitions. Like I have to agree. Like I know again, like no comparison here. When Drogba came back, he wasn't at his fittest. Like, but the dressing room, just the belief that this is someone who's actually won the big things, right?
Exactly.
Just gave us a confidence. Even Terry couldn't get that what Drogba did, and Ronaldo is that kind of personality that he'll actually up the entire team. So I'm kind of, as a rival fan, looking at that, carefully, like, hey, we have to be careful about Man United this year for sure.
There's some teams to worry about. There's some teams that you can look at and go, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Man United versus Liverpool in the knockout stages at some stage. I think this year you'll finally get Man United versus Liverpool in the knockout stages, because all you do is get in the Europa League. Like it's only happened in the Europa League. But
I want it tomorrow. I'll have it tomorrow, Reece. Let's have it. Let's do it now and get it out of the way, because we all know who's going to win that one.
It's true. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to what actually is going to happen. So you can get a bit ahead.
Yeah, sorry, good. Sorry, mate.
No, I was just saying you can. I was just going to say you can get a bit ahead of yourself, which is great. But to say because you've got such a favourable group, it's going to be piss easy, you're going to walk it. It's not always the case. I mean,
is there such a thing as an easy game anymore? That's what I want to know, because I don't think there is. No, is there?
Not because Man City and Liverpool know what it means about easy games. Or even Chelsea fans, I mean, getting beat 5-2 of West Brom, us getting beat 6-1 of Spurs, Liverpool losing 7-2 to Villa, and Man City just being Man City. They have their own moments. Like, what was it? 5? Was it 5? Who was it against Leicester? What was the scoreline against Leicester?
I think it was 5-2 against Leicester. And don't forget, they lost against Leeds, who were also one man down last season. They lost 2-1. And you wouldn't have even thought that, because there was obviously one man down, and they were still attacking like mad Leeds like they do.
Exactly. That's what can happen. That's the best part, though. That's the best part. It's sort of hypothetical, but we'll see what happens. But I'm still ruling out PSG. I'm still ruling out Man City.
For me, I was going to say with the comments, with Man City, I think they're definitely going to concentrate on that Champions League, because Pep Guardiola, that's the thing he wants to win at Manchester City, and Manchester City, that's what they want to win. And that is the only trophy I would hate Man City to win, because they haven't won it yet. And you can just hear them just going about years and years. Oh, won the Champions League now. We've won absolutely everything. And that's something I do not want to hear. For Liverpool, I'm a bit 50-50 because they do better in cups, and I don't feel like they are going to win the Premier League. So I feel like maybe they might try and do different opportunities elsewhere to actually have a good season.
Yeah.
I'll go through some of the comments now. I've got Will's here. Thank you for tuning in. I will say I see United in the Champions League final. City will have an early fall. How early would you say? Quarters? Group
stage.
I hope.
Well, you've got to get through the group, surely. You've got to get through that.
Little Bucko said, I think Man City will concentrate on the Champions League. That is what Pep is really aiming for at Man City now. I completely agree. James has said, I think Liverpool are more likely to win the Champions League out of the English sides. City won't win again. Chelsea are more focused on the title. United are not there yet, but I could be wrong. Wills has said they won't. A striker is missing and still missing. I'm presuming they're on about Man City anyway. Little Bucko, Liverpool are not good enough squad depth into to win the Champions League. When it gets to the crunch time, they will still have Arnie on the bench. Everton Bruno, I think Man City will concentrate on the Champions League because they have never won. And they did have a couple of comments from Jason. Jason said, recent talk, the legends. United will win the group stage easily. Versus Young Boys will smash them 6-0. I wouldn't always guarantee football. It's just a crazy sport. You don't know what will ever happen. James has said, I don't see City winning it under Pep. Last season was their best chance. I agree there, and I don't think they're going to get a better chance than they will last season. Jason, Man City will get smashed by PSG.
I'll be surprised if they do.
And Liverpool can do one. I don't think City will. Myself, James, didn't get a striker when they needed one, but they will definitely be aiming and still going to be thereabouts. The football crew show, thank you for tuning in. Also, everyone who hasn't already, go and subscribe to that channel. They have said that Liverpool will bottle it like they did with the title defence last season, but City will probably go out on the quarterfinals. And
to be fair, they lost Van Dijk though last season, didn't they? That was important for them. They didn't have him there, so.
Well, it not listen. The thing with that is, right, because Reece, your legs, and Ankit, you'll exactly know where I'm coming from with this. But this is what I said at the time. It was all Liverpool's game was all based on trusting each other and each of us, the players, trusting because it was the same players week in, week out. Boom, 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 tick, 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 win, win, win. Yeah. And then as soon as that one player that's taken out of that, and then Klopp had to shift things about, you're then in a mindset of, whoa, shit, wait a minute, I've now got somebody else here who's supposed to be doing what the other person who's now moved has been doing all last season. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. And the confidence, as soon as you, and I did say as well about Liverpool, I said they're going that fast that it's only going to take one little thing to knock them off course. And that one little thing was Jordan Pickford. You know, he went in and he tackled Virgil. To be fair, it was a pretty disgusting challenge. To be fair, and I wouldn't wish it on any player. I don't want to see any player get injured. You know, from any rival teams, that's just not fair. But
Pickford should have been done for that. Really,
it was shocking. And so, from that point of view. What was you saying there? Sorry, I've just gone.
About the squad, right? So I think talk has a point because I think Champions League and these tournament footballs are such that you need a team spirit. So with Klopp getting those players back, they've kind of won that together. So definitely will add that spirit that Liverpool need. And obviously Virgil van Dijk is not just a player; he's actually a captain material as well. He kind of commands things to the pitch, so that will certainly help. But again, going back to the squad, right? For me, that they are just a couple of injuries away from again, repeating what happened last season. And I would not like to, say that they'll probably end up there, but who knows?
There was a comment here from the Football Crew show, what I did agree with as well. Ronaldo will be like an Eric Cantona winning mentality player, and that is a really good comment, and I wanted to highlight that a lot because Eric Cantona, when he came to Manchester United, he was the difference between winning the league and not winning the league. He was just that amazing kind of player, and he had the impact for the whole squad. And it makes you wonder, is Ronaldo going to could do that as well? Because our squad at the moment is quite a young squad.
I mean, for me, Eric Cantona, he was our best signing ever, in my opinion. Eric Cantona. I think Ronaldo was a great signing, but Cantona, at that particular moment in time where we were, that was like the best business we've ever done in a transfer.
He was immense, wasn't he?
£1 million.
Godlike,
Yeah, £1 million, and what he brought to that team was like immeasurable. I mean, absolutely, you can't quantify it. So, for Ronaldo right at this moment coming back the way he has, yeah, this is like it's like being like in an environment where you hear whispers of legends. It's like, oh, Chris, such a body sat there and such, blah blah, wore that shirt and da 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 da. Then all of a sudden, who walks through the door? The legend themselves. It's like, whoa. This is a massive boost for not just the young players but also the senior players who are gonna, like I say, they're gonna have to pull their game up. They're gonna have to pull their game up and give that extra effort, that extra concentration. That's where. But also, Ollie's got his part to play in all this as well now, because he's really got to step up now, Ollie, and start to really understand the relationships that he's going to start to see blossom when Ronaldo is on that pitch, because he's going to be able to identify what's working and what's not quite working, and he needs to get it nailed quickly, I think, because otherwise we could find ourselves, we're talking about Ronaldo, but we could find ourselves in a real pickle ourselves if Ollie does not figure it out quickly enough. If he keeps trying to mess with this midfield and it keeps causing us problems, and Ronaldo starts getting a frustrated figure and he's not really getting much chances, and we find him coming deep to try and locate the ball,
you don't want him there.
No, we don't, exactly. And he's the kind of player, because of his natural instinct, is he wants the ball. And look at him for Portugal. Where was it? I don't know if he was on any of the watch-alongs, Reece or Tony.
Against Ireland, wasn't it? Yeah.
In the Euros, right?
In the Euros, yeah.
Ronaldo was everywhere. He was coming deep for the ball. He was out on the left wing. He was on the right wing. He was up front. I was like, look at him. He's all over the show. It was, and that was obviously because most of the team around him weren't that great. To be fair,
well, no,
it wasn't the greatest team, Portugal team.
Fernandes didn't turn up, did he? Fernandes, you'd think he'd do something in that team as well, wouldn't you? But
you were saving it all for United.
Yeah.
Yeah, quickly, as an opposition fan, I'll have to say here, because, I'll be honest, I've kind of in the last couple of weeks kind of made fun that Ronaldo is your new manager and Ole is probably, the assistant, right? But in hindsight, I think it'll probably help Ole, because Ronaldo is someone who's, again, been there in the finals of every competition that you can think of, right? As in the biggest of them not. So for me, Ronaldo being there will only help Ole, and probably it's a blessing in disguise, which will probably keep his job to the end of the season. And who knows, he might, I can actually genuinely see you guys, winning a cup. I would not like that to happen, but I can actually see that, be it the Champions League or others, let's see. But yeah, at least a cup for sure.
I've got Leicester till I die. Sorry I'm late. I have a note from my mother. Thank you for tuning in.
Sorry. Can I just ask, what's the excuse on the note, Chris? Can you read it out for us, please?
I used to write myself. I used to play truant and write myself and say it's for me mum. Did anyone do that?
His excuse is probably caught in Skid Row.
Yeah.
Everyone also go and tune into Leicester Till I Die, by the way, because it is shows are absolutely quality. I'm sometimes on there and my tummy hurts when I get off in laughter because I've laughed that much on the stream.
You like garlic bread?
That's all.
What's garlic bread again? Sorry.
Yeah, if you like garlic bread,
it's a bit burnt, isn't it?
Yeah. But, hey, Tony, going back to what you just said, Tony, yeah, I did that many a time, mate. Many a time.
Write your own notes, yeah.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't done it?
Thank you, Queen, as well, for tuning in. Nathan has said we can beat anyone on our day, so we have to believe we can win it. Plus, Champions League Varane and Ronaldo, they're both a boost for the squad. Look, Chris has said Arsenal will win the Champions League. Oops.
Aye. Arsenal will win. Aye, Arsenal win.
Say that. What about Brentford?
Aye, Arsenal win it. Don't worry. Arsenal win the Champions League on Football Manager. It's as close as
Nathan, thank you as well for the support. It honestly means so much hearing your inboxes and your comments after the stream. I really appreciate every single one of them, so thank you so much. Chris has said, I don't know about Maisie, but the guy who invented the windowsill, now he's a legend. I didn't hear these joke.
Dear me.
Oh, God.
Where have you pulled that one from, Chris? Oh,
Very funny.
That's
Brilliant.
like, that's an awful. Come on, Reece. That's it, Reece.
I
You're still
know.
as good as this one. You're still as good as this one made when someone says, "Oh, have you seen Out of Him?" And they say, "Who?" And you say, "Invisible Man." You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
He said here, I know I have said this a few times, but if Ollie doesn't win anything this season, he will have to go as he is a laughing stock. Hopefully we will actually win a trophy. We'll just have to see how this season does pan out, especially now we've got these new signings. There's no excuse why we won't win anything at all now. And he has done a Gary Lineker in pants.
His pants. That's not euphemism, is it?
Chris, this isn't Italia 90 for fuck's sake.
Oh, I get you. I remember now.
Yeah. I remember that, yeah. They showed that again recently, didn't they?
Jesus.
Yo, big up Melina. Big up Mel.
Thank you, Miss Melina, for tuning in. And everyone who hasn't already, go and subscribe to Miss Melina. She has got some quality content on her channel. She does some about fantasy football as well, and she is an Arsenal fan as well. I really enjoy tuning in. James has got a joke. Dean Smith, the Villa manager, said he wanted signings, not sign-ins.
Very good, James. Yeah. Nice one, man.
They did well in the transfer window. Let me tell you that. They did very well in the transfer window.
Why wasn't Ings in the England team? Why wasn't Ings in it in the England squad? Was he injured again or something?
No, it's because they picked Spamford. That's the only reason. They went for a woolly sheep instead of a striker. That's what they've done.
He was fucking brilliant today, wasn't he? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be swearing, but...
Thank you as well, Miss Melina, as well, for all the support. It does mean so much. We've got Nippon here who's tuned in. Thank you, Nippon, for tuning in. And
here
everyone
comes
who hasn't
Mr.
already,
London Club.
go and tune in to Nippon too. I was on Nippon stream.
So now, hold on. Wait.
Nippon.
Ankit has now got some backup here with Nippon. So
absolutely, I was feeling minority. I'm like, Nippon, thanks a lot for coming in. Not that we need the European team, but
so that's the two Chelsea fans, is it? There's two of them. Oh, I didn't know that.
Fucking backup. Nippon supports every club in London. There's not backup. That's just universal credit.
Universal credit.
Thanks for coming, man.
Nippon. Big up Nippon.
And Danny has tuned in as well. Thank you, Danny, for tuning in. And Nippon, I will check my DMs for you in just a moment's time. And I've got my friend Fabrizio Romano's back. Oh my
goodness!
Hello.
Oh, Fab, what's going on, man?
Tell us some transfer business. I want to know some for January now. Are we going to get CDM?
Yeah, we're going to get Declan Rice.
No, he's got the Chelsea.
I'm going to go to my last comment and my last question now. Will Mbappe rumours leaving? Will the Mbappe rumours on leaving PSG affect their chances on winning the Champions League? I'll go to you first, Tony. What do you think?
Possibly. I mean, he's a great player, and he's one of the best players in a way. I mean, obviously got Messi and everything else now, but but he's a great player, and of course it affects him because obviously he nearly went to Real Madrid, didn't he? So it will affect him, and I think it affects him a bit, to be honest, as well. It must get to him. He's nearly at Real Madrid, and now he's not. But I think it will. I think it will have some effect. So.
Of course. And what do you think, Ankit? Do you think the Mbappe rumours will affect PSG?
Listen, the guy is extremely young, but he's a world beater already. He's won the World Cup. What more do you want? So he knows the importance of PSG, wanting to win the Champions League for me. And again, being a youngster that he is, irrespective of whatever quality he has, at the end of the day, he is playing with one of the best players of all time. Let's face it, Messi is gone there for a reason. Yeah. And I think there cannot be a bigger motivation for him to kind of win the Champions League with Messi than not, right? As in, that is something that for me, I kind of disagree there. I feel that he will give it his all, and whatever he does on the pitch kind of determines what he does in the next few years, right? And that's how transfers work, whether you like it or not. Like Torres was that great player, but again, what he did at Chelsea, I kind of disagree. He was a flop, but it determined where he went next after Chelsea. Similarly, for Mbappe, it's only his future that he can probably build right now. And for me, with Neymar and Messi, like what more do you ask? Like, so he'll be motivated and he'll do well.
What do you think, Talk?
Yeah, I mean, listen, what you got to think about here is what PSG have done is the value that they've held in Mbappe. They've said to him, look, we're willing to let you go next summer for free. This is how much we value. We want you this season. We could have sold you, but we don't want the money. We want you. All right. He wants to go. His dreams to go on Real Madrid. He's in the perfect situation because he knows he's going to go next season and it's all going to be fine, right? So and exactly what Ankit just said. The front three there now is Neymar, Mbappe, and Lionel Messi. I think his focus. He will be, and I'll tell you something. I won't be surprised if this is going to be Mbappe's best season for PSG, because he could be actually in that mindset of total calm and exactly knowing exactly what's going on and what's happening and when it's happening, and the love that he feels from the club itself and the owners. Because that's something right. If you get valued like that, where somebody says, "Look, I could have sold you for all this money, but I want you instead, and I'm only going to have you for this year, but I'll let you go next season for free," you're going to be like, "Whoa!" And you're still only as young as this kid is. That's a big thing. That is a big thing, and that again for me, that's one of the major ingredients, and this is why I believe it could be and probably will be Mbappe's best season.
What do you think, Reese?
To be fair, whether there's an Mbappe rumour or whether there's not an Mbappe rumour, PSG still won't win the Champions League anyway. Like, simple. They just won't.
I love it when Reese says
I'm anti PSG, honestly. God, I'm anti PSG. Like, that's just simple as it is. Like, I just hate them. But do I think the rumours will affect PSG? No, I think the only reason they don't win the league is either big egos running the team over the flopper manager, or the flopper manager just does what he does best and he reminds the players that he managed Spurs and they develop a Spurs mentality and then they fail at the final hurdle, or in their case, they won't even get to the final. In all seriousness, no, I don't think the rumours actually matter. I don't think it matters as well. Mbappe, he'll have a good season at Real Madrid anyway. Not at Real Madrid. Eventually when he gets to Real Madrid, PSG will have a good season, but I don't think he'll care. He's a professional, so it shouldn't really matter. Like, he didn't get his move this year, doesn't bother him. He'll just go next year. What matters is he keeps his ego in check. He needs to keep his ego in check, because that's the problem with this PSG team. It's filled with more egos than anything else, and that's why they will not win the Champions League. Too many egos.
Egos is up there. Having Poch as a manager is another one, because, like you say, he's just got that Spurs DNA in him. He's just a pure flop, isn't there? So,
however, I mean, do you know what though? Having said that, there is if Poch is as clever as manager as a lot of people make him out to be, he may well identify what he's got right there and just decide that, you know what, he may need to just sort of take his little sidestep here, give simple. Just be simple in his approach to managing this team and letting them be the team to go out there and express themselves. Just give them the tactical understanding of the game that they're coming up against, and the teams who they're going to come up against. This is the weakest side, or that's the weakest side, or watch out for the middle, or blah blah. And then just let them go out and do their thing. We may well see something that's quite spectacular, but again, it's whether he's brave enough to do that, or is his own ego going to take over, and he's going to think, right, I've got this squad of world superstars, and I'm going to be the main man of it, and I'm going to overthink it and do a pep, and then go, that's the way to see.
I think he'll do what he does best. I think he'll do what he does best. He'll fail, and he'll fail spectacularly, and then I'll be there to rub it up his Uber Eats ass. I'm sure he can get. I'm sure he'll be given a free chippy as a consolation prize, because
you're not going to get chippies. They're going to get Mackies. They're going to get some Mackies delivered or KFC or something.
You get a chippy as well. You can get a chippy off Uber Eats. It's cool.
I'll go through the last bit of my comments and I'll just wrap up the stream. Yes, Nippon, I believe he is fuming. I have actually been following Chelsea transfers a lot recently, so I understand how fuming he has been recently.
To be fair, I have no sympathy for Koundé. Because as much as he wanted that deal to go through, he done exactly what Harry Kane did. He refused to play for his club. So as far as I'm concerned, Koundé, that's what I think here. Honest to God, I'll say it in the nice way possible. Fuck Jules Koundé, because he refused to play for his club, and if you refuse to play for your club, then why the hell should he have the right to be fuming about a move? He deliberately went to France, thinking he was going to Chelsea. So as far as I'm concerned, he can be angry all he wants. I don't care. I've got no sympathy for you. You're just like Harry. You're just like Harry Kane, mate. You're just like Harry Kane, a sack of shit.
Please, can Fabrizio Romano please tell me about this big Arsenal news, because I don't really hear any Arsenal news. So I'd love to know.
There is big Arsenal news. There is big Arsenal news.
And what's that?
They're staying bottom of the league.
James has said, I don't think Mbappe leaving PSG will make any difference. They won't win it. They should go out and win it with the players they have. I agree. Jason said Mbappe is a good player, but don't rate him in the top 5. Little Bucko, Ronaldo and Rooney's sons are playing together in the next 10-15 years at United would be class. It honestly would be class. And I wish that the under 12s, whatever they're now, I wish we could watch it on the MUTV or something so we could see how good they would be.
I guarantee Ronaldo Jr. and Kai Rooney will be in the Man United team before 2029.
Yeah.
That's hope so, eh?
I've got Media Man here who said, basically, from our minister, are we riot? And Arsenal to the championship, here we go.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Macy for Prime Minister.
More than likely.
No thanks. We'd all be doomed.
All be doomed?
We'll all be doomed.
I'm going to wrap up this stream now anyway. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Thank you for this amazing panel. I've honestly enjoyed every single last one of you on here. Thank you all. Please go and like and subscribe, and also go and share this stream. It'll be good for people to see more about the Champions League, see what their opinion is. Did they think Mbappe is going to ruin PSG's chances? Who do they think is Champions League coming back to England? It'd be good for people to say in the comments after the stream, see what they think. But thank you all for tuning in. And Nippon has got a comment for you as well, Reese.
I was going to say, actually, can you bring up, Reese, if you're in the French international shoes, if you wanted to move out of a team you're playing for, would you do the same? No, I wouldn't. As much as there's wanting to move club, and I understand that, right? A player feels they've got to move on and they want to pastures new, then that's fine. I completely respect that. But I would never once stop being a professional for the club I already represent and play for. I would turn up to every training session. If I play games, I play games. But I would still reiterate that I want to move, but I'm 100% committed to where I am at the moment, with the mindset still, I want to move. I would never deliberately just piss off to another country to get what I want, because that for me isn't. No, not a chance. That for me ain't professional. Harry Kane, Jules Koundé, they're both the exact same. Gary Neville called him a saint. I called him a twat. End of.
That's Fab's news, isn't it? Reese is going to Burnley, isn't it? Is that Fab's news coming up?
No. I swear I'm going to go through you. I swear to God.
Who are you going to go through? Who?
Not Tony for starters. I know who to blame on this one.
I'm just following what Maisie says, that's all. I'm just listening to her, you know. It's all Maisie's fault, you know.
What did I do to deserve this?
For a bit, so Romano, I said, please like and subscribe, and I'll reveal the news in the next video. So I hope you are going to tune in, because the next video is going to be on Tuesday at 8:30. I'm going to do a preview for Man United versus Newcastle, and that'll be the only one I'm doing next week, because I'll be in Belfast on the weekend. So
Media man, no.
I want to know this news. But yeah, we'll wrap up now. I'm gonna go to you first, Ankit. Where can we find you? Because I know that you are changing your channel around a little bit. Please explain to everyone what's going on.
Absolutely. First of all, thanks, Maisie, for having me. I know it's been a while, but yeah, definitely a great, fun stream. And thanks to the panel and chat as well. Fantastic discussion. But yes, I'm doing this for the first time. So pardon me if I make a mistake because yeah, it's new for me. As Maisie said, I am kind of rebranding my channel. It was called RCB and Chelsea Fan TV, as you can see on the right side of name here. But yes, I am renaming it to Almighty Blues FC. It's basically a fan channel for everyone to see, right? So anyone who's interested, I cover a lot of Chelsea content, but not only that, I cover a lot of rival shows as well of late, and I did cover entire Euros. I am having a trivia show tomorrow on. Anyone who kind of follows the EPL will be able to participate there. So definitely anyone is welcome. But yes, you can find me as Almighty Blues FC on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, as well as on Facebook. And again, thanks for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you, and I hope I do get you on again soon because I've honestly really enjoyed having you on. Talk, where can we find you?
Usual place on Twitter at iTalkMU. You find me sometimes on this channel, so make sure you subscribe here. I've not been on Ankit's channel yet, but I will do at some point, I'm sure. I'll just wait for the invite, hint, hint. You can find me on SVT TV, you'll find me on the Man United Agenda, you'll find me on Rich Sports, and I can't remember where else. Can't remember.
He's just basically the king of YouTube.
just wherever I think Reese has got something to say about that though.
Where can we find you, Reese?
You can find me in more places than one, which is pretty much hell. You can find. Fuck off. You can find me here now and again. Although, Maisie, honestly, God, you're fucking hell. That's your fault. I expect a full apology. You can find me on here sometimes. You can hit that like button, hit share, subscribe. You can find me on Stephen's channel, SVT TV, now and again. Man United Agenda, if and when the lads want me on, which I've got no issue with that. You can find me on Rich Sports pretty much all the time because I'm a channel regular. Doug's channel, which is the Dugout Football channel, on a Monday night, 7 o'clock, with the World of Football podcast. Where else can you find me? You can find me on Twitch, Reese_Line1997. And if you've got free time, you can catch me on the weekly Armchair Sports Talk in 43 minutes. 9 o'clock, I'm hosting tonight, so for the United show. So that's going to be a blast. I'm actually joined by Adam Matic as well. So it's going to be quite a very interesting show, I should say. So you can find me on numerous places, but the main ones below, R7UM1T3D on Twitter. If you want chaos, a bombshell, and pissing people off in creative fashion, I'm your guy. So, and Static, if you're in the chat, pal, ka-chow.
And you won't be getting a full apology, but
I expect a full apology for the under the bus crap.
You're not getting one. You're
getting
one.
Out, mate. You are going to starve them. You're going to starve, mate. Trust me, you're starving on that.
So I'll get some sort of positive revenge one way. Like.
Cody, where can we find you?
Well, actually, I'm in Bournemouth at the moment, but I'm not actually supporting them, by the way. So, still the Mighty Bees. I'm still supporting them. So, but actually, I'm on a lot of things, your streams, obviously, and Stevens and other places. Obviously on Twitter at KingTony1 on there. So basically, that's it.
Wee bit of interesting news, guys. Little Bucko, cheers for making me aware of that. You're gonna laugh at this. This is coming from the Spurs web. Absolutely mental scenes between Argentina and Brazil right now. So this is a fault from Little Bucko's comment. Health officials and Brazilian police have walked onto the pitch, stopped the match in order to detain Romero, Lo Celso, Buendia and Martinez, who all lied to enter the country to play this Argentina versus Brazil game.
What, around COVID, you mean? They've lied about COVID?
Shit.
They've just lied to
yeah.
get into the country in general. They've lied for entry. So at this stage, the game has stopped due to those 4 bellends: Buendia, Martinez, Romero, and Lo Celso. So cheers, you clowns! But you're all Argentinian anyway, so cheers.
Yeah.
You've absolutely ruined
crazy.
it.
That is crazy.
I'm going to have to go and check that out.
But
Yeah,
they entered without quarantining. Without quarantining,
dear.
they've entered, and they've forced it. They're going to get the game cancelled.
So they thought they could. They thought their status would allow them to do that. It's crazy. I don't understand how people's minds work sometimes. It's just ridiculous.
That's right. They think just because they're high-profile footballers, they're just going to get in scot-free. But nope, the Argentine FA and the Brazilian players, the Brazilian FA, Brazilian health officials, they've all walked onto the pitch and forced them off because of it.
Flippin, yes, it is the Tottenham Hotspur one. Romero doesn't play for Manchester United anymore. He got released on a free.
Sadly.
In the summer. But I'm going to end this show now. I will be back on Tuesday at 8:30. I'll be doing the preview for Man United versus Newcastle, and then after that it will be the week after. I haven't got anything planned yet, but I'm sure everyone who has me on Twitter and Instagram, they'll know what will be coming on soon. But until then, I will see you soon. Goodbye for now.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye.